Hey, everybody, it's your girl, Author Doc B. She's in the building. And guess what? We got a special treat for you tonight. And y'all already know what it's hitting for. Triple A is in the building tonight, baby. I'm going to turn
it I'm back.
Co-host is in the building. Take over, buddy. Go ahead and get that introduction.
All right, family. What's good? Bring it to the table, family. I'm back in the building. It's your boy Azzam Azzam, co-host of Bring It to the Table with Sister Author Doc B. So again, Bring It to the Table, as we already know, is a podcast that addresses all social justice issues in the community, equality, and the freedom that's needed for proper healing. We address everyday people, right, who has overcome, conquered, and survived all types of addictions and traumas and are living beyond his dreams. Let's not forget that this podcast is the offspring from Felicia Burton's book entitled The Three C's, How I Survived Crack, Cancer, and COVID-19. Let's not forget her memoir, Your Self-Help Tool, which is a 30-day regimen to help you become healthy. And I always add, health is wealth. Recently acknowledged on Amazon for the best-selling self-help book in the world. Yes, we are streaming live, Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, Indeed, and YouTube. This is the time to get your popcorn, click like, share, invite somebody, because it is going down here at Bring It to the Table. We have a guest that's in the building that's going to be coming up. This guest, we talk about Master Burt, is in the building.
Yes, the king himself.
Very talented visual artist from Chicago Heights. He is in the building. Chicago Heights, Illinois. They call that Chi-Town, who works with a variety of art mediums. Master started drawing in middle school, right? After watching, check it out, after watching his older cousin complete an art project for school, right?
Yeah, we like that when the family impacted.
Check it out.
The family
impacted, right? And it made it happen for him too as well, right? We talking about the project of graphite image of cartoon characters in action. We talking about Master's cousin started to train him in the image outlining graphite. And check it out, and questioning to develop his talent, Master took fine arts classes at Prairie State College. And from there, he went and refined his skills by sketching, drawing, and painting everything that caught his eye. Master is known for portraits that reflects his ability to stay true to to detail while seeing space to add abstract touches. And if you don't know what that is, like when you take something and make it better than what it is, because that's what we're talking about, right? Master utilizes a range of color combinations to satisfy the visual palette and to bring dimension and texture to his work. Diagnosed with sickle cell type SS at 2 years old, art has then been Master's passion and main outlet for expression, for living with his illness that primarily impacts African Americans. If y'all don't know that, check the statistics out. He is an active member in the sickle cell community in the Chicagoland area. Master uses his art to encourage his daughter, Imani. If you don't know what Imani is, that means faith as well. Beautiful name. Stop playing. Yes, we are in the building, right? Imani, who also lives with sickle cell, and his son, Emmanuel. His work adds to the current commentary on social injustice, Black life, and Black culture in the, this is a good word right here, the diaspora and the continent. Wow. Master has hosted many popular paint parties and mentored several young artists.
And it goes down in Atlanta, baby. It goes down.
Master is committed. You don't know what committed means. That means he's enthusiastic. He's inspired. The energy that comes with that, right?
The commitment is there.
Making art accessible. He often paints pieces live on social media and encourages audience participation. Though Master also enjoys roller skating, man, you just messed me up. I ain't do that in a minute, right? And the game of basketball or pool and reading a good book. Art is where his heart is, and he can be found in his studio, creating, engaging, and teaching.
Man,
and that's
let's go.
little bit of who he is, man.
Let's
He's gonna give us some more of it, you know. But at this time, that's my introduction piece, man. I'm gonna turn it back over to Arthur Doc B. And as you know, I'm in the building.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna bring him on in because with all that being said, that's a whole mouthful. We're gonna bring the king on in, okay?
Yeah.
He backstage. We're gonna click him in.
Come
click,
on.
Click. There you go. Hey, how you doing? Master Burt is in the building, the ATL's finest, baby. How you doing?
I'm all right, and you?
Good. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show. As you heard, Bring It to the Table is a safe space where anybody can come who has overcome, conquered, and survived things and is living beyond your dreams. And we heard your introduction. Thank you so much for sending us your introduction. I think that when your uncle started telling me about you, I was like, and then he was like, well, yeah, let me just show you the art, you know, like, you got to look on the Instagram, you know, and you got to look on this too. And, oh, I came across something else. And like every day he would come to me with something. And then he would say the magic words. This did it for me because he's your uncle. He's older than you.
Yeah.
But when he say you inspired him, that did it for me. I was like, really? Well, usually the uncle is the one that inspired a nephew. Right. When he said that you have always been there for him, I said, Usually the uncle is usually there for the knucklehead nephews, but this was a reverse. You're not a knucklehead. No. You're not the average. How old are you?
I'm 45.
And you're just not the average young boy because he in his 60-somethings. He gone. And I'm like, man, I got to bring him on the show because I want to know more about his lifestyle, where he grew up at, how did he become this artist? And that's what we do here, Master. We bring it to the table raw and uncut. We live everywhere. I don't care. We don't hold no holds barred, right? So we're going to get started, okay? And one of the first questions that we always ask anyone in our invited guests is, you know, where are you from? How was it, you know, in your hood where you grew up at, or in the suburbs, or what was it like? Where was you born and raised, grew up, and things like that?
So I was born in Milwaukee, right? But I wasn't raised there. Like there's nothing there, but besides me being born there. My mother, I don't even know if I was 2 years old when I came to, I was like 1 when I came to Illinois. And so I don't know if you all are familiar with, like, let's say Chicago, but like Chicago is Chicago, right? But it's the surrounding areas that's like, they would consider the suburbs, right? But at the end of the day, right? So most people, when they hear about suburb, they say, oh, that's the good area. Well, not in Chicago. That's not how it works here. Now you have some places
like that.
Yeah, that's not how it works here at all. So you have some places that are, like let's say the way it's set up, like Olympia Fields is where R. Kelly house was at, right? Mm-hmm. Well, Chicago Heights is right next to Olympia Fields, but Chicago Heights is the hood. You see. And I come from a town that's a town within the town, right? So Chicago Heights is Chicago Heights, but Beacon Hill is the section that I come from, which would be like the west side of Chicago Heights. And like I said, both are the hood. You have Chicago Heights, Ford Heights, all of that's the hood. Even places like Harvey, Illinois, Dalton, Illinois, like it's a lot of hood that's the suburbs,
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how Chicago is kind of like set up. Even though it has suburbs, you have some suburbs that's worse than. So let's say like Chicago would be a town called considered Beverly. That would still be considered the inner city of Chicago. Mm-hmm. But nothing is going to happen in Beverly. Beverly is a great area. Mm-hmm. However, you go to Beacon Hill, and there's some people that's scared to even go there. I know that for a fact.
Right.
Like it's just that's how it's set up.
What's some of the
And
stuff that might happen out there? What is some of the stuff that might happen out there? Or what was your experiences? Some of the things that you have overcome and survived.
well, so the reason why I am how I am with my uncle Maceo is
Mm-hmm.
because so my mother and my parents was on drugs basically, right? So when I was 9 years old, my grandfather and my aunt, my grandmother, they came and picked me and my sister up, took me from my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandfather, who at the time he was just a deacon, but he would become a preacher, he would become a pastor, and so that's who raised me. So me and Maceo was raised by the same father.
Oh, wow.
It's just that I chose to pay attention to him, to my grandfather. I didn't start like that, but that's how I ended.
So that's his father. That's your uncle's
Yeah,
father
that's his father.
Wow.
that raised you. So y'all kind
Right.
of was okay. All right. The same
So,
values, the same morals
right. Yeah,
system, the same family. Okay.
yeah.
And sort of kind of it's safe to say y'all grew up more like brothers then.
Like brothers, right? So he was
Wow.
pretty much like
Oh,
my
okay.
big brother.
Okay.
Yeah, he was my uncle, but he was more like my big brother. And as time, he would teach me, he would teach me different things, because he was in and out, in and out, in and out.
Right, right.
He's always been in and out since I was a little kid, and so basically, so as I got older, I was more so watching him with a lady. He was a ladies' man. He was always a ladies' man, no matter what his habits
Mm-hmm.
were. He was always a ladies' man, and so that's the part from him that I did take. um, I didn't take the wild street life. I had a grandfather that I was scared of. That's just the bottom line.
Nice.
I had
I
a
love that. I
grandfather.
wish people,
That's
I wish
healthy.
kids was like that, right?
Man,
Azzam, I
good
wish kids
stuff.
was like that now. Because I was
Yeah,
terrified of my mother too. And then
yeah,
my mom said, if I gotta chase you, it's getting ready, you get ready, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be real bad. So
yeah.
I would just stand there and take whatever it is that she was going, dishing out.
Mm-hmm.
But I would pretty much wouldn't make the same mistake twice. I was that type of girl.
And I tell people now, like it wasn't I be telling people like, no man, it wasn't the streets that I was scared of. It wasn't even the police. It was just my grandfather. Like, and then later on, it would turn into like, my grandfather is like the world, right, to me.
Mm.
He's done
Nice.
so much in the neighborhood that he has like the street named after him. The street is literally named Reverend Burt Way.
Wow.
Wow.
But this is what him, doing things, and naturally, I'm his youngest son at that point, so I'm
Mhm.
with him. So this is what I saw. This is what I saw growing up. I saw my grandfather married to my grandmother until she passed away. These are things that I saw. Now, don't get me wrong. At night, at even let's say 15, 16, 17, you ain't paying attention to that. You don't recognize the value of it until you get 32, 30. I didn't recognize the value of it until I got in my 30s,
Mm.
but
Right.
I was kind of, doing some foolishness throughout my 20s,
Well,
but
what you was
never
doing?
got
What you was
too far.
doing? You want to bring it to the table? You gotta say what you was
Yeah,
doing, but
you just can't slide by that like that.
it
You
Like
ain't
I
going
had,
down like
I
that.
had,
not
I had,
crazy
I had,
detail, but you give us a little something, something.
now like I had a friend of mine who, he like sold drugs. He was a drug dealer. So when he would go out of town, I'm the person that he trusted, So
Okay.
at the end of the day, when he out of town, business continues.
You the man.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Oh, we
So
like them type of guys, don't we? Don't we, Sam? We
Yeah,
like that stuff.
yeah.
That's right. Step up to the plate. That's right.
yeah,
And
so
there's skills there.
That's some
Don't
good
this
stuff.
what we tell the audience. This what we tell the audience, Master Burt. Watch this. Because you was in the game, you had some skin in the game, and you was hanging around these particular type of people, right? It did not mean that you was not learning things. It does not mean you were not developing coping skills. It does not mean that you was watching systems work. It doesn't mean that you were unable to connect connect the dots. You see what I'm saying? Because all of that, what the audience is about to find out is how you became who you are. See, what I'm saying is that what I want the audience to really understand is that just because you was off to the left at some point, or you wasn't doing the things that society say we should have taken that particular route, doesn't mean that it's not going to come full circle, and then you're going to be able to use those skills when you really need to use those skills, when maturity kicks in. You see what I'm saying? Because the same skills and the same value system and the same things that you had when you was working for old dude, when he had to step off and you stepped in, it's the same stuff. That's the very same stuff that you tapped into when you came out of the game. And the audience is going to see that in your story. Azzam, you want to add to that?
Yeah, and I love what you're saying with that, because again, we share often, like, and we still got to back our history, right? When we was practicing spiritual principles in reverse, right? Committed to the game, perseverance, you know what I'm saying? Trust and all that. And then you've been able, and I love it, right? Those same things, we talking about transferable skill. Now, if I could put all into that, and then I turn my life around, that same energy gotta go into that now. And then I hear it in you, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we
talk. Oh, yeah, he did that. He did that.
So it took me back, because when you said that, I have that same experience that my mother and my dad was heroin addicts, and grandma saved us. You know what I'm saying? And I grew up around uncles and stuff like that, man. So I'm very inspired by what you're talking about. So as you mentioned, though, you know, you was able to take that, make it through, and then realize, you know what, that's not where I really want to go, and found something else to inspire you, took those same things and transferred it more in a positive direction. And I'm very impressed with it, man. I gotta ask though, who named you? That's your government name, Master?
That's my government name. My mother. So it's basically. So if you ever talk to my uncle about my mother, right? He would tell you she a piece of work. Like my mother was very as Maceo was, by the way. When you ask people about them, they're gonna say like, yeah, like they would tell me like, yeah, Maceo beat them two dudes up together. Or my mother, though, on the sense, she was a very small frame woman, but she didn't take no mess off of no man, nothing.
Right.
And how
it didn't matter
about it.
It didn't matter, none of that, right? So those things, you know, put certain things in place for me mentally too. You know, like I would see my mother do things like as far as being physical with men, you know, as far as like physical with men like this, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would see that, you know, and it would make me.
You can say it. You can say, I see my mother beat the heck out. Like you can say
it. Yeah. I seen her get
you can say it.
With her particular one, like she didn't play about me though, right? Because I had sickle cell. So with me having sickle cell, you know, it can lead to a crisis, right? You hitting me can lead to a crisis. So she never played with. She never allowed nobody really to, you know, to play with me like that. As far as you know, disciplinary. Don't get me wrong, I had a little bit, but it wasn't a whole lot.
Right. Yeah.
Until I got with my grandfather. Then it changed. Then it changed.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. The next questions for the audience is where did you go to elementary and high school at?
I wanted to say this real quick though for my name. I wanted to explain to the brother about my name. So when I asked, I was told that my mother was in Mississippi and she was in what they call the sticks. And she said that she was walking and she would see like older, like houses, the plantation looking places.
What?
And she said what it reminded her of, this when I'm in her stomach. She said, it reminded me of, you know, slavery and it made me say, to what's going on in my stomach. If this is a boy, I want white people to call him master, like them slaves used to have to call.
Oh,
that's where my name came from.
Wow, what a paradox!
Oh my God!
And they ain't got no choice because it's on your document.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
What a concept!
I'm speechless.
You see, I had to ask. I knew it was a twist to it. It's something underlying that because I said you the first one I ever met with that name outside of people.
I've never.
Themselves. I never. I wonder.
Never.
For a minute, but you know what I'm saying? I said, no, that's his name. Man, wow.
Yeah, so that's why she said she named me Master, because she thought about, when black people used to have to call white men Master.
Yo, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm glad you didn't skip that. I'm so glad you came back to that. Thank you for that. Yeah. I'll be so ready to move forward. That was a vital piece. That was vital right there. So it would be fair to say that despite of your mom's life's experiences, we still have what we call these reprieves. We get these moments, these reprieves where things are shown to us, and masterpieces such as yourself. We give birth to ideas. I think that was brilliant. Yeah. So go ahead. You can answer the next question. We're
school. As far as school, I went to school. Pretty every school I went to was based off of me living in Beacon Hill, so it wasn't no moving around or nothing like that. Except for once, 4th grade. But as far as like junior high school, I went to Forest Trail Junior High. I went to a school called Ridge Central. That's in Olympia Fields. And then after that, I went to ITT and then Prairie State.
Wow. All that schooling, man. Well, when did the daughter come along? Here comes the story, Sam. Bring it to the table, young man. Come on.
So I'm not one of those people who I get on here and lie. The facts is the facts, right? And I'm cool with the facts, right? You make peace with certain stuff. But my daughter, I was dealing with a female. It was like, 2008. And then, it was really just a weekend thing. I had knew her or whatever, I trusted her, I knew her, whatever. She dealt with somebody that I knew prior, so I knew her, whatever, and it was a weekend thing. She had a boyfriend that was, they was broke up. But anyhow, that's how my daughter came.
They broke up over the weekend, Zam. They broke up over the weekend, Zam.
They had broke up, whatever, for a while, and then all I know is she came back to me and said that they would get back together, So I stepped back, I backed up and everything, and so in reality, when my daughter was born, I thought that it was his kid.
Oh.
My daughter had a whole another last name when she was first born.
What?
So me and her would actually get back together when my daughter was like 3 months. And so I would, as her guy at that point, I would do things for the child. And then one of my aunties, right, she kind of in the space of a person that helped raise me. So with me, it wasn't just my grandfather, right? You got to think he's what? He is like 60 years older than me, right? So you got to think that naturally his daughters is gonna help him with me, right? So it was some of his daughters that was also real vital in my life, right? So, but this one particular one, my auntie Linda, she always been there, and my mother and her was real close too. So she's always been there for me, right? But she once said to me, she was looking, and she was looking at the kid or whatever. She said, I seen this kid before. Matter of fact, it wasn't me. I was in the hospital. She told my kid's mother, I seen this kid before. So my kid's mother was like, oh yeah, you know, the father, who she thought it was, you know, he brought the kid over here once before to see her granddaughter. So she was like, nah, that's not where I saw this kid. And so what she did was she went and got a picture of me when I was a baby and said, that's that kid. And so that's really what made me go and get a DNA test. So I went and got a DNA test, and the DNA test said it was my daughter.
Wow.
So from there, it went from there to, you know, you got, I found out in like 2010. And then from 2010 to 2015, I went basically fighting just to get on the birth certificate. That was tough. And then from 2015 to 2020, I went from fighting for full custody.
Wow. So you have full custody today?
Yes.
That's what's up.
Oh, this young man, I knew he was going to be good for tonight. Y'all got a lot in common. Zam.
Yeah, very, very, very impressive. Very impressive. Yeah.
Tough fight. It's a tough fight in those courtrooms. You know, it's a tough fight for you know, somebody asked me, right, what could Kamala Harris do to get black men to vote for her? And I said, maybe if she changed the dynamics of, you know, how the court systems view, or America, however you want to put it, view fathers as parents, because we start off at like 40-50% versus the mothers start off at 100. And that's not fair, because last I checked, it takes a part of me and you, not just you. You know, so I think that it's tough to fight, you know, for your kid in these courtrooms, because you automatically
did it.
She the mother, and she's a good mother off top, no matter what happens. Like, I have a whole little theory with that, but yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your transparency. We love authentic story.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was good.
Story is just like, I'm just blown away. I'm blown away, and I often say here on the set that a lot of people think that bring it to the table a lot of times have substance abuse, mental health, people, and things of that nature. But that's not the only stuff in our community, you know, that we have overcome, conquered, and survived. You just went through a whole, man, that's trauma. Or everything going back and forth and having to face officers and getting evidence and doing all these things and test taking and stuff. It takes a lot. Let me say hi to the audience for a minute. Hi, Brian. Thank you for joining. Hi, Melinda. Thank you for joining. This must be your people, these new people. I haven't seen
Brian, so if that's the correct Brian, he owns the art gallery in which my work is in.
Oh, we're getting to that, Brian. Stick around. Thank you all for joining. You are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Spotify. You are on Instagram. You are on YouTube. And then I think I missed one. Facebook. Two, I think 3 different Facebook groups. But thank you, John. Thank you, Tasha. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you all for joining. Thank you so much. Every single week you all are here, and I really do appreciate you all. Hi, David. I see you. Thank you very much, Raheem, for all your support. Melinda. Let's look over here. I got to go to different screens. Thank you, Natasha, and thank you, Keziah. Thank you all so much for joining. We really do appreciate your constant support each and every week. Azzam, do you have any questions from here? You want to take it from here?
It was. Man, as you was talking, what came to mind? You can hear me? Because my son in the background. That's what I'm like, you know.
Yeah. No, we can hear you. We can hear you.
TV too?
No. We good. We good. You good. We can hear you.
So, and something that you said was so important. So you have 2 children, correct?
So that's the thing. I was going to touch on that, right? So no, biologically, I have 1 child. but I took care of my daughter's brother since he was born. So yeah, he not with me, you know, like
Oh wow.
yeah, he's lived with his mother. Yeah, but I raised him since he was born.
And all that. So what is it like going through with the leukemia? What's that like for you? I
Sickle
know
cell.
sickle cell. I'm
Sickle
sorry, sickle cell. Like, does it draw you of your energy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
So sickle cell is like, so me and my daughter have sickle cell, right? So sickle cell man, how do I? So basically, it's like it's a lot of pain more than anything, right? Now, oxygen, you know, it does come with oxygen deprivation. So let's say where the average person, when they put the pulse ox on, theirs is 100, but mine is normally around 91. Sometimes it doesn't drop down to like 82, you know, and they think sometimes like, oh, you tired, like you must be drained, or sometimes yeah, but like majority of the time you know the body is the body, so the body gonna adjust, you know.
right.
So where you might feel lightheaded at 91, I'm all right.
Mm.
Yeah, but more than anything is the pain that it comes with. More than anything is the pain, and then more than anything is how you have to live, you know, with it to not to stay out of the hospital.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like you have to. What I tell people, right, is people ask like, oh, you seem like you just so cold, and you seem like, you know. I had a couple of people tell me it seemed like I don't care about nothing or I don't have emotions. And I'm like, if you know an artist, I don't know an artist without any emotions, to be honest with
Come on.
Yes.
you.
Come on. There's all the body motions when you're an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Drop it like it's hot. I love it.
In your work, man. So that's beautiful, man. You know,
Well, Brian is saying that name piece is crazy. And people on
yeah,
here saying his name alone is a masterpiece. His mother is a smart woman for naming him master. And he and her reason behind it is magnificent. This is what the audience is saying. They're just busting up in the chat right there. And thank you all for joining again. Wow. They say, yeah, we want to hear more about his life. Bring it to the table. They said, bring all his life to the table. That's what they saying.
Yeah.
We want to know it all.
what about your daughter? Are she picking up some of your art skills? How that's looking?
Yeah, my daughter. So she not really into like the painting and the drawing thing, right? But she can put colors together really well, right? But my daughter is so I don't want to overlook too. Like her mother be paint. Her mother can like paint as well, and her mother do poetry. I do poetry. Her mother do poetry. So my daughter poetry her poetry is like
Oh, I know it's brutal.
really
How
cool.
old is
Oh, I
How
know
old is she
she.
now?
Huh? She's
How old?
15. Yeah, she's
15.
15 now.
Oh, I know she's just bad to the bone. I can
Yeah,
tell. I
she's
already know.
15 now.
I already know. You do? Can you do some poetry for us tonight?
Nah, I don't recite or nothing like that. Like
Okay.
I have something written, you know, I have something written, but
Why you ain't bring some? Why you ain't bring some?
because it's not what I really like. I would write, right? So let's say when I would write, some of my stuff was dark, you know, like
Okay.
yeah, some of my stuff is kind of dark, like so I don't.
It's
Yeah.
crazy that you say
He's
that.
deep, yo. He's so deep, man.
Yeah. Again, you said we have a lot in common because my initial poetry writing, it was from a dark place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now I can go anywhere with it. I didn't never knew I had it. It's funny, right? I'll share this with y'all because we transparent here. Like I call myself trying to write a poem to someone who I pissed off, a girl, right? More about yourself, you might learn something. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't even think about it. And because of being in recovery, you know what I'm saying? I started to do that, and it's so much came out. That was my way of journaling now. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
nice.
So thank you for sharing that. And it's good. Because you know, and with you, it sounds like your poetry is more personal than for the public.
Right. That's what
Yeah.
it sounds like.
Well, I haven't written though in a while. You know, at that time, that's what it was.
They're
Like,
back
but
then.
I
Okay.
haven't
Okay.
written in a while.
Yeah, it's a
So
focus
see, you
skill.
see, that I was getting ready to say that was the moment that took him to the next place.
Mm-hmm.
That I really I like that you said that. I really like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So
That's so
that's
dope.
awesome.
And
So
you know what? In our lives as human beings, period, Master, we all have to get to these spaces and these places that is going to open up the door for the next place. Just like what happened to you.
yeah,
Just like that you
yeah,
said that was pretty dark poetry. That was back then for that time. You know what I mean? And it's not for now. That was
yeah,
back then. But that was really good. I appreciate you saying that. Boy, you as authentic as they come. Boy, I'm telling
yeah.
you, that's amazing. You're amazing. So now let's get down with the get down. What is going on with the art? You got this. Your cousin was writing, doing a art project, and you just caught fire too. How was that? How was that? It's in your bio. What was that about?
Yeah. So I was like around 12 years old, something like that, and my cousin Dyson, he like so you know you always had that one cousin. He like the coolest dude, right?
Oh,
So and you know you got it's just different, right? You got like Maceo who you know he was the cool guy. He was the ladies' man. You got that, right? And then you got majority of the people in my family was cheaters. That's just the bottom line, right? So then you got another cousin who, you know, would always talk to me about like fatherhood type stuff as a kid, you know,
yeah,
don't ever leave your kids and stuff like that. He taught me that. But then you got Dyson, right? Who like he was closer to my age. He only like 3 years older than me. So he in high school, I'm in junior high school. I'm watching him do a picture of it was a picture of Tweety hitting Sylvester over the head with a bat. And so
okay.
I was just watching him, you know, I'm like, man, how you do that, right? And so when sitting there talking to him, you know, he was like, he gave me a book, and in the book it had like different things in it. So I remember it was like a dolphin that was jumping out of the water. And so
Yeah.
he was like, you know, what you do is you just look at the line and you pay attention to the line, and whatever way the line go, that's what you do with your pencil. So if the line go up, if the line go to a curve, that's what you do. And so I sat there, you know, and I did it, and it came out good. But also, you know, it was just a thing of you know, you want to be like Dyson, like
Oh
like
yeah, 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 yeah.
so Dyson draw, I draw. Dyson skate, I skate. Like these are things that again, his mother is one of the people who remember when I said my auntie and my grandparents.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
it was his mother that would come, and I would stay with him for the beginning of when I got took until it was time for school.
Nice.
And so a lot of things, you know, he started me to do. I just kept it going. And later on, right, I did an article of a guy did an article on me as far as skating goes, and he asked me about, you know, the art, about the drawing and stuff, and so I was explaining that to him, the same thing I'm telling you all, and I sent it to Dyson. And so he called me, you know, and he was like, man, he said, he
He
said,
had no
man,
idea. He had no idea.
yeah, he was like, man, you know, I'm just glad, you know, that you took that and made this with it. He said, but you left the part out. I'm like, what you mean? And he said, well, the reason why I was doing it was because you was in pain that day. He said, so I was having you drawing to take your mind off of it because, and I never knew that. Yeah, I never knew that, like, until recently. Like, cause I didn't remember, I didn't remember all of that. But like, yeah, he told me, he said, yeah, man, he said you was hurting a little bit that day, man. And I was just trying to keep your mind out of it.
Wow, powerful.
So yeah,
Powerful.
yeah.
So wow, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I
Yeah.
am. And the fact that you was hurting. So I'm a therapist. We are therapists, clinical therapists, both of us, Azzam and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the coping skills, the greatest coping skill ever. And the first thing when they enter treatment is we give them a notebook.
Mhm.
You can journal, start writing, journal,
Yeah.
and the freedom that's in writing is just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to come on here and say that you found your path and your free place and how your cousin saved you with that painting, that picture, those instructions, you were able to follow them
Mm.
and get you today. That's crazy, Azam.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the
That's
writing,
phenomenal.
the writing actually comes from Maceo. The writing actually comes from Maceo. Uh, so he would always when he would be locked up, he would always send home some artwork with poetry
Wow.
in there. And
Yo,
so I,
he taking me back. And look, now he taking me back to when I was locked up. That was my hustle.
yeah.
I'm an artist too, right? You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Born artist and by trade. You know what I'm saying? And when I was locked up, dude that couldn't write or draw, that was my whole hustle, and I put stuff together for them for their
Mm.
Man, I've
miles
seen
and
that
like
one.
so, yeah, yeah,
That's
man,
crazy.
good stuff,
So,
man.
all right. So now let's talk about what's going on right here and now with your
Here
artwork.
in 2024,
Where is it
waking up.
now? Where can we get it? Put all of this stuff. I'll drop it all in the chat. Do you have it for sale? Is there a website? Do they go to Instagram? You said that the guy that has your art in his gallery is on tonight. Thank you for joining. I need to get over to that gallery, do a book signing, and sell some of your art for you. That's what I need to do. But tell us more.
Yeah, so currently, so it's some of my work is in it's called the Wood Shop. It's in Chicago, Illinois. Um, and then also, like, I have work at, of course, here at the house. And then social media also. Like that's really I've sold plenty of pieces through social media just by painting live. So that's why I really enjoy that. Like I really enjoy painting live. They don't take away from uh, physical pain, but like stuff that I go through mentally, like it does help me with that because I like to just put on music and just paint. Um, but as far as the selling, I would get people, that they hit me up, or right there on the live, person to say, how much is that? Or, so then I would just have them really inbox me. Or, we'll talk in inbox. But
So
that's how I've sold, a lot of pieces through my inbox. And
I'm
then
sorry.
commission pieces, somebody that asked me, can you do this or can you do that?
Zan, pull it up. What's your name on Instagram?
Yeah, that's all right.
So on Instagram, my name is Master Piece of Art. Master, but piece is in Peace. Yeah,
Okay,
Master.
Master
hold on. Let me see something.
P E
I'm
E.
Excuse me.
Spell it again. Master
Master, Master, piece, Peace of art.
P E E.
Huh?
You said P E E.
No, Pea, like
P E
peace.
A. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Piece of art.
Yes.
MA.
Let me see. Let me see.
I got it. I found it. I found it.
I found
Oh,
it
but
first.
you got two. You got one under your name and then the other one under Masterpiece of Art ATL. Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Look at
I got it.
this.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
look at
wow.
that. I
Ooh,
know.
come on.
Do you mind? Oh,
Let me
is that
follow
you on the
you.
skates too? I got
Let
him
me
on the
follow you.
skates.
Hold on, I gotta follow this. Wow.
Oh my God. Hold on. I'm clicking it too. But
Are you
look,
on
follow.
skates? Oh yeah.
He's on skates. I got him.
Okay.
Oh, look
Yeah, I
at
wanted to see.
you.
I was trying to see how I could like share this from like social media.
Are you teaching him or he teaching you?
Yeah, I teach them.
Wow.
I skipped teaching today
I
to
used to
be
do that.
here.
I used to
He's
do
doing
that.
it. He's doing it. So
Yeah.
you teach skating here in Atlanta.
Oh no,
You in,
no, no,
you in Atlanta now?
no. I don't teach in Atlanta. I teach here in Chicago. I don't teach.
Chicago.
However, right, if someone wanted me to come out, I will teach there.
Wow. And thank you so much, Brian. Brian is the owner of the wood shop. Maceo. I call you Maceo. Master Brian
Everybody
is
do.
the,
Yeah,
y'all look just like y'all look just like.
yeah.
Look, so Brian is the owner of the wood shop.
Yes.
Okay, good. So there it is, folks. You can go to Master Burt on IG, and that's Master, just like his name on IG. I'm looking at it right now. Let me see if I can share a little bit of your work. Let me see.
And you're currently in Chicago, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I got people out there too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's in Chicago all the time.
This,
Tell me if you
Yes.
can see it.
The wood shop. The wood shop is what 441 East 75th Street, Chicago, Illinois.
yeah, you definitely
That's
got
a
it.
picture of me and my daughter right there.
And there he is, folks. There he is on the skates. Check him out. Ha ha.
That right there is a young man. I know his father.
What, going around the back?
Yeah. Huh?
Uh-huh. That's awesome.
And how long you been skating?
I love it.
So
I love it.
I started staying with my auntie in the beginning. So I was like 9 years old. Yeah, 10 years old.
Yeah.
Somewhere up in there. Yeah.
Right here. But you've been skating forever. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yes, I was like 10.
So, ladies and gentlemen, go and get. Oh, look at these paintings. Did you do that? Wow. This one.
Yes, I did. On
you did that one too. Look at that.
That's on the computer. Case, and he wanted the Apple to still
on the back of somebody's computer.
Oh wow, wow.
I see how you got this in the video here.
That's hot.
That is so dope. Wow. That's dope. I appreciate that. Well, there it is, folks. We're going to wrap it up, but now you know where you can go to get some of these paintings and to look him up.
Are you
yours? Oh, check out my man. Beautiful.
Yeah, that piece upstairs.
I know that part right there.
That piece upstairs is different though. Yeah.
I love it. I love that. Your work is amazing. Is that your daughter?
Let me see. Yes.
Nice. She's on the Honor Society, smart like her dad. First place down here. Author, first place author.
She wrote a book. Yes. She took first place for a book writing.
Wow.
That was in 8th
You're
grade.
so talented. Is this mom and dad right here?
Grandparents.
Okay, grandparents. Kudos to the parents. Push them up, push them up.
Is it
Well,
all right
thank
if
you
I if
so
I if I
much.
if
If
I
you
let
had,
you asked me for a poem? Is it all right if I let my daughter's poem play?
oh yes.
Sure.
This is the very first poem she wrote. Man, she wrote this in like 19
Let's hear it.
now. So yeah. Let's see.
Azzam, put your phone on mute. I mean your computer.
Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Let me see.
Wow. So talented, your family. And while you're looking for it, the last question is, what would you tell any artist, that anyone that's inspiring to be an artist? What would you tell them? That's your final question.
I would tell them, I would tell them to become it. Yeah, I didn't get my work into the gallery until I really it turned into like art was just everything. I was painting every day. Like I really made it me, right? I didn't get my work into a museum until I started becoming and when I say become, I mean like mentally. You know, I would say, I would speak, like I would say, like I'm gonna get my work into a gallery one day. I'm gonna get my work into a gallery one day. And here's the thing, right? Is Brian I was at the skating rink drawing, and he just walked up on me, and he had been there for years. I never paid attention to him. He never paid attention to me. And he just came up to me and was like, "What you doing with that?" And so when he came up to me, uh, uh, I was just like, I'm just told him what I was doing with the artwork or whatever. And he started telling me about different things and how his family owned a gallery. And in reality, I'm thinking that it's just another old guy who giving me a bunch of stories that I can't fact check. And so later on, he would invite me. He invited me to the gallery a bunch. I never went. But he invited me to his house one time to see something as far as like his car. And when I went, when he took me in the house, it was art everywhere.
Oh.
And it was like, I'm like, whoa, like, and then he was telling me all these different things that he did with wood, and I'm like, oh, okay, he for real. So that's what made me go to the gallery. And that's what made me go to the gallery. It was like, okay, now I have to go, like,
right.
But at first it was like in my head, I'm like, it's one of the, in the neighborhood, you hear a bunch of old school guys.
You almost blew your opportunity. You almost blew your opportunity.
Yeah, so I would tell people though that too. Don't be closed-minded.
Yes.
Don't be closed-minded, but also just become art, right? And really work on your craft. If you say you want to be better at it, if you put the time in, you'll be better at it.
Nice.
You'll be better.
There it is, folks. Put the time in.
Put the time in. Time will not wait for you.
Become it. Master Burt, B-U-R-T.
In the building.
Drop the mic, baby.
On
He
Instagram.
like it's hot tonight. Did you get it up? Did you get her poetry?
Yeah, I do, but I just don't know if y'all gonna be able to
look, hold up. Look, Doc, out the doc. Check out what's on here. I found this. Look up. Poetry slam. How old she was right here?
Hold on, let me hear that.
Yeah, let me see that one. Okay, she was That was her. That was 8th grade. She did a
Yeah,
lot
she
in
looked
8th
like
grade.
she only about 9, 10 years old.
Yeah, she already in the public's eye. She ain't playing no games.
Oh,
That's
yes,
beautiful.
ma'am.
Make sure you all go to Master Burt at IG. Please hit him up. Get some of that art. Follow him. And let's make this man dreams come true. They already have. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We really do appreciate you, and we wish you well in your endeavors.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate you all as well. You say my daughter look like she's 19 years old.
No, on that poetry slam, the first one was how old she was right there, about 13?
Yeah, she was. Yes, that was her 8th grade year.